Remember the Russian tourists we told you about earlier this week? The ones that took the first group tour to North Korea since the pandemic. Well, it turns out a Russian reporter was among them, and Vostok-Media has given us a taste of what that trip was like.
После решения о возобновлении туристических связей с нашей страной, первая постпандемийная и самая многочисленная за последние полвека группа сегодня вернулась домой, посетив Пхеньян и один из самых экзотичных горнолыжных курортов мира. Среди путешественников был и наш корреспондент Андрей Колесников.
Just to briefly recap, the group of 97 Russian visitors arrived in North Korea last Friday, February 9th, for a 3-night stay at a cost of $750 per person. The tour included experiencing Pyongyang and a ski resort around 185 kilometers from the capital. So, what was it like? In a country where a tourist was shot dead for not following strict rules, the reporter expressed surprise that his group wasn't stopped from taking pictures, how some members of the tour group initially timidly took out their smartphones and cameras, but filming was actually allowed. They got to interact with locals while touring. As the reporter said, North Korean residents and children smiled and waved at them. That said, this wasn't an ordinary tour of an ordinary country. The reporter conceded that guides apparently asked them not to post their images on social media, while they were also prohibited from taking pictures of the view of Pyongyang from the top of the city's Juche Tower, as well as workers and farmers, military facilities, and soldiers. And there were also strict rules for taking pictures of statues of North Korea's revered late leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim-Jong-il. First, they had to take such photos from the front rather than the side. Second, they had to pose with both hands at their sides if they wanted to appear in images with the statues. And they were told to make sure all of the statues were visible in their images, without cutting off arms and legs, for example. Yet, reportedly, no one checked their phones or cameras. And while these tourists couldn't freely visit stores, the reporter said they could be directed to a particular supermarket or bar if they asked. Overall, Russia is presenting to its own people a pretty glowing impression of visiting North Korea. With state media promoting tours to the north, Russians are being told of the delights that await them in North Korea. The Vostok-Media report not only highlighted one of the most exotic ski resorts in the world, but also a giant seaside resort featuring a gorgeous beach.
Которая оборудована, которая будет представляться с сетью, так сказать, отелей 4-5 звезд, где можно хорошо, шикарно отдохнуть.
While Korean seaside resorts are bound to rise in appeal once the weather warms up, more Russian tourists are reportedly set to arrive at the end of February to experience the mysterious country of North Korea.